Hey everyone, I've got a big update, eh? There's a massive storm system heading our way, and when I say massive, I'm not exaggerating. This could very well end up being the biggest storm we've seen so far this March. There's a lot to cover here, so let's jump right into it because we've got a lot to talk about. Major risk for severe weather on Friday, March 14. The most important thing you need to know is that there's already a large slight risk of severe weather stretching from southern Wisconsin all the way down into eastern Texas on Friday, March 14th. That's a massive area at risk, but what's really catching my attention is right in the middle of that zone, a rare day 5, 30% risk for severe weather centered around Memphis. That's right, a 30% risk this far out is no joke. It's pretty unusual to see numbers like this so early in the forecast. That risk area also includes places like Little Rock. So if you're in or around those regions, this is something you really need to be paying attention to. Before we get into the details, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. Potential for all types of severe weather. At this point, we're looking at the potential for strong tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail. Now, I want to be clear. We don't have all the finer details just yet, since we're still several days out. But when you see a setup like this taking shape, and this kind of strong signal for severe weather showing up consistently in the models, you know we're in for a significant event. Threat extends into Saturday. The scary part is that it's not just confined to Friday. This whole system carries over into Saturday as the threat area shifts eastward, encompassing parts of eastern Kentucky, stretching west into Louisville, down through Nashville and Knoxville, and continuing south toward Birmingham and into Louisiana. If you're in Louisiana, I know you've already been hit hard by severe weather this year, and unfortunately, it looks like you're about to get more of it. Saturday also brings another rare day 6, 30% risk for severe weather, this time centered between Jackson, Mississippi, and Birmingham. Anytime we see a 30% risk this far out on the Storm Prediction Center's outlook, it's a big red flag. It means there's very high confidence in dangerous conditions developing. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. What's driving this severe weather outbreak? It's all being fueled by a huge upper-level trough sweeping across the country between Thursday and Friday. But this isn't just any old trough, it's one with a negative tilt. If you're not familiar with that term, a negative tilt happens when the trough is angled toward the south and east. When we see that orientation, it's a big warning sign that things are about to get serious. That negative tilt is important because it creates the perfect conditions for an explosive storm system. It helps pull warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico into the system while dragging cooler, drier air down from the north. When those two air masses meet and start mixing, it sets the stage for severe weather. But that's not all. We've also got a powerful jet streak coming into play, which is going to enhance wind shear in a big way. We're talking about very strong surface winds blowing in one direction, while the mid and upper level winds are moving in a completely different direction. Some of those upper level winds are clocking in at over 100 miles per hour. When you get this kind of wind shear combined with warm, unstable air, it creates the perfect environment for tornadoes, especially in the southern states like Arkansas, eastern Texas, northern Louisiana, and parts of Mississippi and Tennessee. Is right in the bullseye of this setup, and that's why the risk is so high. Severe threat reaches far north. The risk zone isn't just limited to the south. This system is so large and powerful that the slight risk area extends all the way up into parts of Wisconsin and Illinois on Friday. We could very well see severe thunderstorms producing damaging winds and large hail that far north, which just goes to show how widespread and impactful this storm system is going to be. A small saving grace? There might be one small saving grace here. As I'm filming this, there are already some severe thunderstorms happening in Florida, and earlier today, there was even a tornado warning down there. That's all thanks to a smaller system currently sweeping across the Gulf of Mexico and pushing a lot of moisture out to sea. But that's important because the Gulf of Mexico is a key source of warm, unstable air for storms like the one we're expecting later this week. With this current system clearing out the Gulf's moisture, it's going to take some time for the atmosphere to rebuild that warm, moist air. We'll start to see that happening again by Wednesday and Thursday, But then, wouldn't you know it, another smaller system comes along and sweeps even more of that moisture away. Honestly, if it weren't for those two smaller systems keeping the Gulf relatively dry, this could have been a historic tornado outbreak of epic proportions. I'm not exaggerating when I say that the setup we're seeing here is the kind that can produce widespread, destructive tornadoes. So while this is still going to be a major event, we may have dodged an even bigger bullet thanks to the Gulf being a little drier than it would otherwise be. Final thoughts. That being said, there's still plenty of moisture getting pulled into the system, especially in the deep south, and there's more than enough instability and wind shear in place to produce strong, long-track tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail. Stay safe, stay prepared, and make sure you're subscribed for the latest updates. I'll be tracking this system closely, and we'll keep you updated as we get closer to the event. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and stay weather aware. Severe weather and major snowfall expected. On top of the severe weather, this system is also going to bring major snowfall to parts of the western United States. The Cascades and Sierras in California, Oregon, and Washington are going to get absolutely buried under feet of snow. Even the lower elevations will see heavy rainfall. As the storm moves eastward, the snow will spread into the Rockies, hitting states like Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado. By the time this system fully develops over the western plains, we're likely looking at a record-breaking low-pressure system. Some models are predicting a central pressure as low as 968 MBE, which would make this one of the strongest March storm systems on record. When you get a low-pressure system that deep, you know you're in for extreme weather on both sides of the storm. Severe thunderstorms and tornadoes ahead of the system. Blizzard conditions with heavy snow and strong winds behind it, storm system taking shape. Things start picking up out west today. A low-pressure system just off the coast of California will start pumping moisture into Southern California, bringing rain to places like San Diego and Los Angeles by Tuesday evening. And that rain will spread eastward into Arizona and Nevada, while the Pacific Northwest will start seeing rain and high-elevation snow as the main trough digs in, bringing moisture into the Cascades and Sierras by Wednesday morning, March 12. Heavy rain expected in the east. By midweek, the heaviest rain will be concentrated in the eastern Carolinas and parts of eastern Georgia, where some areas could pick up an inch or more of rain. Kicker system could trigger severe storms. Midweek is when things really start to ramp up. We've got a kicker system ahead of the main trough, and this is going to slide from the Four Corners region into Texas and the lower Mississippi Valley. By Wednesday afternoon, expect storms to start firing up from Wichita Falls down towards San Antonio and Austin, and then boom, those storms will explode, spreading across southeast Oklahoma, the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and down into Waco. These storms will push eastward into Arkansas, East Texas, and Louisiana overnight, carrying the risk of large hail, damaging winds, a few tornadoes. Main trough equals major trouble. Then we've got the main trough, and this is where things get serious. By Wednesday, this system will hammer California with heavy rain and mountain snow, then dive into the desert southwest on Thursday. By Friday, it ejects into the central high plains and upper Midwest as a negatively tilted trough. And that's when we're looking at the potential for a major, severe weather outbreak. Storm Prediction Center already raising alarms. The Storm Prediction Center is already highlighting a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk across parts of the mid-Mississippi Valley, including southeast Missouri, eastern Arkansas, southern Illinois, western Kentucky. That severe threat stretches from Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, and Dubuque, Iowa, all the way south toward Houston, Texas, and Lake Charles, Louisiana. That's an enormous area with serious potential for severe storms. I'll be back tomorrow with a new update. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment. See you!